My beloved child, pause everything you're doing for just a breath. Something extraordinary is aligning around you right now, and it has been waiting patiently for this exact moment to reveal itself. You may not see it yet. You may not even believe it fully. But feel this, deep in your chest, this quiet stirring that says, this is different. That's not imagination. That's recognition. Because long before your name was spoken in this world, a pattern was already forming around your life. Precise, intentional, alive. You were never placed here by accident. Stay with me just a little longer, because what unfolds next connects threads you've sensed but never seen clearly. There is a reason your mind reaches beyond the ordinary. A reason you question limits others accept without thought. A reason you feel pulled toward ideas of progress, creation, and impact that stretch far beyond survival. This isn't restlessness. This is remembrance. The Creator does not choose loudly. There is no spectacle at the beginning. Selection happens in silence, in the unseen places, in the quiet resilience of a soul that keeps moving forward even when clarity is missing. Especially when clarity is missing. You've walked through moments where nothing made sense. Doors closed without explanation. Paths dissolved just as you stepped onto them. And yet, somehow, you're still here. Still searching. Still becoming. That alone is a sign. Hold this moment. Because the truth is gently opening now. The world is shifting faster than ever, ideas becoming realities, thoughts turning into systems, vision reshaping civilization. And in times like these, the Creator doesn't rely only on strength or status. The Creator calls on perception. On courage. On minds and hearts capable of seeing tomorrow before it arrives. That's why your life has felt like preparation instead of comfort. You were never lost, you were being trained. You were never delayed. You were being refined. You were never overlooked, you were being positioned. Let that land. There is a blueprint awakening inside you, a combination of curiosity, empathy, and daring that refuses to stay small. You don't just want success, you want meaning. You don't just want answers, you want to build something that outlives fear and limitation. And here's what most people never realize, the Creator's greatest works don't begin with certainty. They begin with calling. A gentle, persistent pull towards something bigger than logic can justify. You won't want to drift away now, because what's coming next explains why this message found you and not someone else. Even your doubts have served a purpose. They sharpened your discernment. They taught you humility. They ensured that when responsibility arrived, you'd carry it with care instead of ego. This is where the pieces start to align. You are standing at the edge of a transition. Not sudden, not dramatic, but profound. A moment where inner awareness meets outer opportunity. Where preparation meets permission. And no, this doesn't mean you have all the answers today. It means you have something far more valuable. You have readiness. Breathe that in, because this is only the beginning of what is being revealed. My beloved child, right now, in this very moment, something deeper is rising within you, and it's responding to a call you didn't even know you were answering. Feel that quiet awareness expanding, yes, that one. It's not excitement, not fear, it's recognition. A remembering that you are more than the roles you've played, more than the timelines you've survived. The Creator speaks in this way, not with noise, but with alignment. If your soul is stirring, remain with me a little longer, because the layer opening now explains why you've never fully fit into the world as it is. Some people are born to maintain what already exists. Others are born to question it, to improve it, to imagine what hasn't yet been dared. You've always leaned toward the second path, even when it made life feel heavier. Even when it isolated you. That wasn't a flaw. That was a signal. The Creator plants intention inside the ones who can carry it. And carrying it doesn't always feel like power at first. Sometimes it feels like pressure. Like being aware too early. Like seeing cracks others refuse to acknowledge. You were never meant to escape this world, you were meant to help evolve it. Hold this space, the divine connection deepens now. Think back to moments when ideas arrived uninvited. When inspiration struck without warning. When you felt a strange urgency to learn, to build, to understand systems larger than yourself. That wasn't coincidence. That was calibration. You were being tuned to a frequency of responsibility. Those chosen for something big are rarely told up front. They are shaped instead. Through patience. Through uncertainty. Through inner strength developed quietly while the world looks elsewhere. Because true impact requires more than brilliance, it requires steadiness of heart. And you have been learning that, haven't you? Learning to pause instead of react. Learning to observe instead of judge. Learning to endure without hardening. You're closer than you think, don't drift away yet. The Creator doesn't rush destiny. Destiny unfolds when awareness catches up with preparation. And right now, awareness is catching up inside you. That's why this message feels personal. That's why it found you in this exact state of openness. There is a future version of you already standing in clarity. Calm. Purposeful. Grounded. That version didn't arrive by chance. It arrived because you stayed curious when others numbed themselves. Because you stayed hopeful when others settled. If this truth is touching your spirit, share it forward, let another soul find this light today. Because here is a quiet truth few ever say out loud, the ones who change things don't always feel confident. They feel called. They move forward not because they are fearless, but because the pull toward meaning outweighs the comfort of staying small. And you have felt that pull, again and again. The peace that shifts everything is coming soon. What lies ahead is not about status or recognition. It's about alignment. About stepping into a role that matches the depth you've been carrying all along. The Creator chose you not for perfection, but for sincerity. Not for control, but for vision. And in the next unfolding, you'll begin to see how all of this connects, why your path had to look the way it did, and what you're truly being prepared to activate. Stay close, because what I reveal next brings the purpose into focus. My beloved child, a quiet fire is igniting within you right now. Not the kind that burns loudly, but the kind that warms truth back into your bones. You've felt it in the still moments. Late at night, when the world goes quiet and your thoughts grow honest. In those spaces, something asks you questions you can't ignore anymore. Is this all I'm here for? Why does my spirit refuse to settle? Why do I sense more is possible, even when I can't yet see it? Allow yourself to sink deeper. Truth is unfolding gently. The Creator's invitation is not always dramatic. Often, it arrives as a subtle discomfort with the familiar. A growing awareness that the old ways of thinking no longer fit. You begin to outgrow conversations, environments, even versions of yourself that once felt safe. That's not confusion. That's expansion. Those chosen for something big must first confront the quiet resistance inside, the part that wants certainty before movement, proof before trust. You've wrestled with this, haven't you? Wanting to leap forward while fearing what you might lose. Wanting to think beyond limits, yet feeling the weight of responsibility that comes with vision. Stay with me a little longer, the deepest shift is coming. There is a surrender required here. Not surrender of ambition, but surrender of control. Of the belief that you must see the entire path before taking the next step. The Creator reveals direction one layer at a time. So the heart can grow strong enough to carry what the mind will later design. In silence, you've already begun letting go. Letting go of timelines that pressured you. Letting go of comparisons that shrank you. Letting go of the need to be understood by those who cannot yet see what you're becoming. This is holy work. The unseen door is opening as you listen. You may notice your inner world changing before anything external does. Thoughts becoming clearer. Values sharpening. A deeper intolerance for emptiness, especially empty success. You're no longer satisfied with surface-level wins. You crave coherence. Alignment. Integrity between what you think, feel, and create. That craving is the mark of a builder of futures. If your heart is beginning to recognize this, don't turn away now. Because the inner battles you've faced were not meant to defeat you. They were meant to teach you how to sit with complexity without losing compassion. How to hold big ideas without becoming rigid. How to dream forward while staying rooted in humility. Few can do this. That's why the calling is rare. There is an intelligence awakening within you that blends imagination with responsibility. Vision with empathy. Progress with care. This is the type of mind the Creator entrusts with influence, because it doesn't seek domination, it seeks contribution. And yes, there will be moments of loneliness. Moments where you feel ahead of your time. Moments where you must choose patience over applause. But in those moments, you are not being withheld from destiny. You are being aligned with it. The moment everything connects is almost here. What you are becoming cannot be rushed, only revealed. Each layer unfolding at the exact moment your spirit can hold it without distortion. Breathe into that knowing. Because the next truth will show you not just why you were chosen, but how what's forming inside you is meant to move outward into the world. Remain present, the revelation is drawing nearer. My beloved child, the next veil is lifting as these words reach you, and a deeper knowing is beginning to settle gently into your soul. Notice the stillness forming beneath your thoughts. That calm isn't emptiness, it's readiness. The Creator often prepares the chosen not through noise, but through silence. Through moments where you are asked to listen more than act. To trust more than control. If something sacred is awakening within you, remain here just a little deeper. There is a quiet discipline you've been learning, even if no one ever named it for you. The discipline of restraint. Of not rushing to prove yourself. Of letting ideas mature in the dark before bringing them into the light. This is not delay. This is refinement. The world praises speed, but the Creator honors depth. Behind every visible breakthrough lies an invisible season where distractions are released, attachments loosened, and ego softened. You've lived through that season. You've walked away from paths that offered applause but demanded compromise. You chose integrity when shortcuts were available. Those choices did not go unnoticed. Hold this divine silence, understanding is blooming now. There is a sacred economy at work in your life. Every time you surrendered certainty, clarity grew stronger. Every time you released control, wisdom took root. This is how the truly impactful are shaped, not by external reward, but by internal alignment. Ask yourself quietly, how many times did you keep going when no one clapped? How many times did you choose patience over reaction? How many times did you honor your values when bending them would have been easier? That is where power accumulates. You're on the threshold of true seeing, stay with me. The Creator entrusts influence only to those who have learned how not to misuse it. That's why your preparation included humility. Why you were taught to listen before leading. Why empathy was etched into your perspective early on. These are not soft traits. They are stabilizers. And now, something begins to shift. The inner silence you cultivated is turning into clarity. The restraint you practiced is becoming precision. The questions you carried are shaping into vision. If this message is resonating in your deepest self, share it forward, let another wandering soul find their way home today. Because here is the truth rarely spoken, real success is quiet at first. It moves beneath the surface. It grows roots before it ever breaks ground. Those who skip this stage may rise quickly, but they cannot sustain what they build. You are being prepared to sustain. The missing piece your soul has sought is almost here. Soon, you will notice opportunities aligning with your values instead of testing them. Conversations opening that match your depth. Doors responding not to force, but to presence. This is the Creator signaling readiness. And when movement begins, it will feel natural. Unforced. Inevitable. Not because you chased destiny, but because you became compatible with it. Breathe into this moment. Let gratitude settle where impatience once lived. Let trust replace urgency. Because what's coming next doesn't ask you to become someone new. It reveals who you were always meant to be. Remain close, the unfolding has only just begun. My beloved child, the deepest truth is rising to meet you right now, and it's asking you to soften, not strive. Feel how everything slows for a moment, how the noise thins, how the weight you've carried loosens its grip. This is not weakness. This is arrival. The Creator draws the chosen into stillness before unveiling the next movement, because only a quiet heart can hear what changes everything. If your spirit is trembling with recognition, stay in this holy moment. There is a surrender you have practiced without applause. Not the surrender of your dreams, but the surrender of forcing them. You learned to release timelines that suffocated your joy. You learned to let go of outcomes that demanded proof before faith. You learned to work with devotion even when certainty withheld its comfort. This is sacred alignment. Ask yourself gently, when did you stop needing permission? When did you stop asking the world to validate what you felt in your bones? That turning point, small, internal, unseen, was the moment your life began to harmonize with a larger design. Breathe with me, the divine unveiling deepens now. True builders of the future do not cling to control. They listen for coherence. They adjust without losing essence. They move forward while remaining teachable. You have been learning this language of alignment in silence, refining discernment until your intuition grew precise. The Creator trusts those who can hold power without being consumed by it. That trust is earned in private. In nights when you chose integrity over speed. In mornings when you returned to the work without praise. In decisions where you honored truth even when no one would notice. You are closer to home than you've ever been, do not leave yet. There is an unseen faith guiding you now, not blind belief but grounded knowing. A faith that does not demand certainty, yet moves with confidence. A faith that allows the future to unfold without panic, because it recognizes patterns where others see chaos. This faith is quiet, unshakable, alive. It is the kind of faith that successful souls carry silently, never announced, rarely explained, because it does not need defense. It knows when to wait. It knows when to act. It knows when to let the moment ripen. The truth that liberates everything is almost within reach. What you are aligning with is not a role, but a rhythm. A way of thinking that integrates heart and mind. A way of creating that honors humanity while advancing possibility. This is why your path required patience. Why haste would have distorted your gift. You were shaped to steward something meaningful. Notice how your desires have refined. How the shallow victories lost their shine. How what remains is a longing for coherence, between who you are, what you build, and how it serves. This longing is not idealism. It is instruction. The final alignment your soul has waited for is gathering. Soon, the stillness will give way to motion. Not frantic motion, focused motion. Purposeful motion. When it arrives, you will recognize it not by noise, but by ease. Doors opening without resistance. Conversations resonating without effort. Opportunities fitting without compromise. Until then, remain gentle with yourself. Let gratitude anchor you. Let trust steady you. Because the next unveiling does not rush you forward. It invites you deeper, where intention becomes action, and destiny begins to move through your hands. My beloved child, feel the divine current pulling you inward now, as if an unseen compass is gently recalibrating your direction. There is a shift occurring beneath the surface of your life, subtle, undeniable. You may sense it as a quiet confidence replacing urgency, as clarity softening old doubts, as a calm readiness settling where impatience once lived. This is not coincidence. This is convergence. Pause with me, this layer asks for presence. The Creator often moves next by refining how you move. Not faster. Not louder. But truer. You are being tuned to act from alignment rather than effort. From resonance rather than reaction. The difference is everything. Have you noticed how distractions are losing their pull? How certain pursuits no longer excite you, even if they promise reward? That isn't loss, it's selection. Your energy is becoming precious, and it is choosing where to land. Remain here, the turning point draws nearer. There is a hidden courage awakening in you now, the courage to choose what fits over what impresses. The courage to say no without explanation. The courage to build quietly while others broadcast. This courage doesn't shout. It steadies. The truly impactful understand this rhythm. They allow ideas to mature before release. They respect timing more than trends. They protect their inner stillness as fiercely as their outward goals. You are learning this guardianship of attention, and it is changing the way your future will respond to you. Listen closely, a deeper instruction is forming. Action taken from alignment feels different. It carries less friction. It invites collaboration instead of resistance. When it's time to move, you will feel a gentle inevitability, like stepping onto a path that's been waiting for your feet. This doesn't mean the work disappears. It means the work becomes meaningful. Focused. Clean. Each effort compounding rather than scattering. Stay present, what unfolds now matters. You are being prepared to lead without forcing, to influence without overpowering, to create without losing compassion. These are not common capacities. They require an inner spaciousness you've cultivated through patience and humility. And yes, there may be moments where the old world tries to pull you back, into haste, into noise, into proving. When that happens, return to the quiet certainty forming in your chest. That certainty knows when to wait. It knows when to step forward. It knows the difference between pressure and invitation. Let this settle, the pattern is becoming visible. Soon, you will recognize opportunities not by their size, but by their coherence. They will align with your values, honor your boundaries, and amplify your strengths without demanding your soul in return. This is discernment awakening. You might feel a tenderness here, a reverence for what you're carrying. That tenderness is strength. It keeps your vision human. It ensures what you build can endure. Hold steady, the sequence continues. The Creator is arranging encounters, insights, and openings that meet you where you are now, not where you were. As you remain faithful to alignment, momentum will arrive naturally, like a tide that lifts what's already afloat. Do not rush the reveal. Let readiness finish its work. Because what approaches next is not a test, it is an invitation. An invitation to translate inner truth into outer impact, to let preparation become contribution, to move from stillness into creation without losing yourself. Stay close, the unfolding grows clearer with every breath. My beloved child, something ancient in your blood is remembering itself now, a wisdom older than fear, steadier than doubt, awakening with quiet authority. Feel how your posture shifts inwardly, how you're no longer asking if you're ready, but how you're meant to move. This is the moment where preparation begins to lean forward, eager to become expression. Do not hurry, there is grace in this pause. You are entering a season where your inner standards matter more than outer approval. Where you choose clarity over applause. Where you listen for resonance instead of volume. This discernment is not learned from books or mentors alone. It is forged by lived alignment. Let yourself stay here, the pattern is clarifying. There is a subtle recalibration happening in how you evaluate success. It's no longer about accumulation. It's about coherence. About whether your actions feel clean inside your body. About whether your words match your values even when no one is watching. This integrity is magnetic. Those who walk this way begin to attract the right collaborators, not by chasing them, but by becoming unmistakable. When you honor your rhythm, others who share it recognize you instantly. Conversations deepen. Timing synchronizes. Resistance softens. Allow the quiet to instruct you. You may notice a gentle narrowing of focus. Fewer goals, clearer priorities. This is not contraction, it is precision. Energy once scattered is now being gathered into something that can carry weight. Something that can endure. Ask yourself softly, what remains when urgency falls away? What still matters when comparison loses its voice? What work would you continue even if recognition never came? That answer is a compass. You are learning to trust the long arc. To plant seeds you may not harvest immediately. To build systems that serve beyond your own gain. This is the mindset that shapes futures, patient, principled, forward-seeing. Stay present, the deeper alignment is taking hold. There will be moments when momentum seems slow, when silence stretches longer than expected. In those moments, remember, alignment often feels quiet before it feels powerful. Roots grow in darkness before branches reach the light. You are not behind. You are being synchronized. Notice how your reactions soften. How listening replaces defending. How curiosity replaces certainty. These are signs of maturity that the Creator values deeply. Influence handled without ego becomes service. Vision guided by humility becomes sustainable. Let this truth settle gently. Soon, you will sense a readiness to speak where you once stayed silent, and a wisdom to stay silent where you once spoke. This balance is rare. It allows your voice to carry weight without strain, to move others without force. You are being shaped to contribute something that feels inevitable once revealed, simple, elegant, necessary. The kind of contribution that looks obvious in hindsight, yet required years of unseen alignment. Remain steady, the unveiling approaches. As you continue to honor this inner guidance, doors will respond not to insistence, but to presence. Opportunities will recognize you because you recognize yourself. Movement will feel less like pushing and more like allowing. Hold this awareness close. Because what comes next will ask you to step forward, not with urgency, but with assurance. Not to prove your worth, but to apply it. And when that invitation arrives, you will know. Not by excitement alone, but by peace. My beloved child, feel this gentle pull deeper into truth, as if the universe itself is leaning closer to listen with you. There is a maturation happening now, subtle yet profound. You are no longer gathering pieces at random, you are beginning to sense how they fit. Ideas that once felt separate are converging. Experiences that seemed unrelated are revealing shared purpose. This is synthesis, the moment wisdom starts to organize itself. Allow yourself to remain here. The meaning is assembling quietly. You are learning the difference between effort and alignment. Effort pushes against resistance. Alignment dissolves it. When you move from this deeper place, your actions carry a calm authority. They don't demand attention, they earn it. Notice how your intuition has sharpened. Decisions feel less dramatic, more obvious. You sense when to step in and when to step back. This is not hesitation, it is timing. And timing is the language through which the Creator moves powerfully. Stay present, the convergence is nearing completion. There is also a tenderness entering your leadership now. A respect for complexity. A patience with process. You understand that transformation isn't forced, it's facilitated. This awareness allows you to guide without controlling, to inspire without overwhelming. Few ever reach this balance. You've come to value clarity over certainty. Curiosity over rigidity. You ask better questions now. You listen for what isn't being said. This depth of perception will become one of your greatest strengths, because it allows you to respond to reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Breathe into this, the inner architecture is stabilizing. You may feel moments of quiet awe, realizing how much you've already become without announcing it. Strength that arrived without bravado. Confidence that didn't require comparison. This is grounded power, and it changes how others experience you. They may not name it, but they feel it. There is a sacred responsibility accompanying this stage. To remain open. To keep learning. To let humility guide growth. The Creator places influence into hands that can stay receptive even as capability expands. You are proving yourself trustworthy. Let the stillness speak. Soon, clarity will crystallize into direction. Not a rigid plan, but a living pathway. Flexible, resilient, responsive. You will know what to build first, not because it's grand, but because it's essential. Foundations before monuments. Integrity before scale. This discernment ensures longevity. You may notice a quiet joy returning, a sense of rightness that doesn't depend on outcome. This joy is fuel. It sustains momentum without burning you out. It reminds you why you chose this path when it was still invisible. Remain with this awareness, the unfolding is precise. The Creator is preparing you not just to initiate change, but to steward it. To care for what grows. To adapt as conditions shift. This requires presence more than prediction, listening more than certainty. You are ready for this. As the final pieces align, you'll feel a gentle readiness to act, not impulsively, but confidently. The question will no longer be if you should move, but where to place your first step. And when that step is taken, it will feel less like a leap, and more like coming home. My beloved child, the unseen door is opening as you listen now, and with it comes a calm certainty you've never needed to chase. Notice how this certainty doesn't rush you. It doesn't demand immediate action or dramatic declarations. It simply stands. Steady. Grounded. Present. This is the mark of readiness, when urgency dissolves and intention remains. Stay here with me, this is a delicate crossing. You are beginning to understand that power does not announce itself. It organizes itself. It becomes quiet enough to hear nuance, strong enough to wait for the right moment, clear enough to move without hesitation when the moment arrives. This is not hesitation. This is composure. You've reached a point where your inner alignment is stronger than external noise. Opinions lose their grip. Comparisons fade. You no longer need to react to prove you exist. You know you exist, deeply, fully, purposefully. Let that knowing settle. There is an inner authority awakening now, one that doesn't dominate but directs. It doesn't seek permission, yet it remains deeply respectful of life. This authority allows you to make decisions cleanly, without inner argument, because they arise from coherence rather than conflict. Hold your awareness here, the integration is completing. You may sense a quiet responsibility forming alongside this authority. Not a burden, but a reverence. A recognition that what you're preparing to shape will affect more than just you. This awareness refines your choices. It slows you just enough to ensure care is woven into every step. That care is not softness. It is precision. You are learning when to apply pressure and when to apply patience. When to speak and when silence carries more weight. This discernment is rare, and it changes the quality of everything you touch. Remain present, the clarity is stabilizing. At this stage, many feel a strange calm mixed with anticipation. As if standing at the edge of a wide horizon, not needing to rush forward, yet fully aware that movement is imminent. This calm is not passivity. It is collected energy. Like a bow drawn quietly, waiting. You may also notice your vision becoming simpler. Not smaller, clearer. What once felt complex is now distilled. You understand the essence of what you're here to contribute, even if the full form has yet to reveal itself. Essence always comes first. The Creator entrusts expansion only after essence is honored. Because essence keeps growth aligned. It prevents distortion. It ensures that what scales remains true. You are holding essence now. Let this truth breathe inside you. Soon, the world will begin to respond differently. Not dramatically at first, but subtly. Invitations that feel aligned. Challenges that feel purposeful. Support appearing without being summoned. These are signals. Not to rush, but to recognize. Recognition precedes movement. You are nearing the moment where intention turns outward, where inner harmony begins to express itself through action, creation, and contribution. This is not a departure from stillness. It is stillness in motion. Remain steady, because the next unveiling will not ask who you want to become. It will reveal who you already are, and how the world is ready to meet that truth. My beloved child, the eternal flame within you is shining openly now, not to blind, but to illuminate the path you were always walking. There is nothing left to search for, nothing left to prove. What needed forming has formed. What needed softening has softened. What needed courage has awakened and learned how to rest inside wisdom. This is the moment many sense only once in a lifetime, when becoming gives way to being. Stay with me, this is sacred completion. You are no longer standing at the edge of destiny. You are standing inside it. And notice how peaceful that feels. No fireworks. No urgency. Just a deep, unshakable clarity that says, this is right. This is how true purpose arrives, quietly, fully, without resistance. The Creator never chose you for noise. Never chose you for spectacle. Never chose you for ego. You were chosen for stewardship. For the ability to hold vision without losing compassion. For the strength to move forward without abandoning humility. For the rare capacity to build what lasts because it is rooted in truth. Let that recognition settle gently. Everything you walked through, every delay, every refinement, every unseen season, was not preparation for this moment alone. It was preparation from distortion. So that when clarity arrived, it would remain clean. And now, clarity has arrived. You are not meant to escape the world. You are meant to participate in it consciously. To bring coherence where there is fragmentation. To bring simplicity where there is excess. To bring humanity where there is acceleration. This is how the chosen serve. Notice how fear no longer directs you. How comparison has no leverage. How your sense of worth feels internally sourced, stable, calm. This stability is what allows impact to expand without collapse. You are ready to move, and ready to wait, and wise enough to know the difference. The final alignment your soul waited for is complete. From this place forward, action will feel natural. Creation will feel honest. Influence will feel like responsibility, not entitlement. And success, when it arrives, will feel like gratitude rather than conquest. Because you understand now. The Creator did not choose you to stand above others. The Creator chose you to stand with life. To listen deeply. To build thoughtfully. To lead gently. To innovate without forgetting the heart. This is the kind of greatness that reshapes futures quietly, but permanently. Take a breath here, let reverence replace anticipation. What unfolds next does not require your effort, only your presence. The path will reveal itself step by step, matching your integrity at every turn. You will not need to force doors. You will recognize the ones that open. And when you look back one day, you will not measure your life by speed or applause. You will measure it by alignment. By coherence. By the knowing that you answered the call fully. You were chosen not because you were perfect. You were chosen because you were ready to become true. Remain in that truth. This is not an ending. This is activation.